Hey guys, this is Crisis169 aka Mark coming to you with another upload. Discussing once again the situation with the whole Xbox. Oh my god, consoles going away. Oh my god, doom and gloom. Because Costco and Sam's Club are no longer selling them. Listen, folks, the way why a lot of retailers are not selling them because they're costing too much. They're game consoles, not gaming rigs. If that was the case, then why is Costco selling an $1,800 cider power machine? Or why is Sam's Club getting in the iBuyPower system that costs about, $1,000+ If it was too expensive, they would get rid of them. I think it's because the consoles are getting out of hand. And the profit margin for the consoles and retailers are not doing too well. But then again, though, Best Buy is selling them at the new price. I think GameStop is too, I think. But I need to swing by GameStop and check up on their Game Pass Ultimate $20 if it's actually still there or not. I'm very close to one anyway. I might go check it out here after this video. And report to you after I do my Black Ops 7 a beta multiplayer zombies review. I'll do that for you guys, so you guys will know. So you guys will know, what's going on and stuff. That'd be something that I can actually do for you guys. But given this whole thing, and breaking it down, is Microsoft going to get it? And we need to do even more of a sit down discussion here about this. Is Microsoft going to get rid of consoles? Eventually, yes, they will. They'll go out of consoles eventually. Would it be this generation? Probably not. Next generation? Probably not. The third after this one? Maybe. They may start making small little boxes. They might license their name out to Samsung or whatever, or to Corsair or Cider Power or NZXT or whatever, and have make an Xbox edition of that, and make like a small little box, and get with AMD for example, and then make a small little box set top box console, like a Steam machine that didn't take off. But there are fanboys too out there who are actually making excuses why it's a good idea to have increases in the consoles and even Game Pass Ultimate. Those people, like I said, the fanboys on either side of the spectrum are going to be for or against what, and before their console, whatever reason. They're going to fight for it because it's what they do. All they know. PlayStation, Xbox, Sony, even PC Master Race. You have to be made of money to understand this. But guys, it's a service, okay? It's a game service. Game Pass is a service that Microsoft wanted a long time ago. Well, I said in my video last night, that Game Pass Ultimate was what Microsoft wanted to do 25 years ago to keep PC relevant. Young E made a video about, oh my God, the regurgitation of the fact that the same talking points everybody else talked about, consoles going away, doom and gloom. No. Xbox wanted to keep the gaming PC around because they knew the Windows is their bread and butter. Like I said yesterday, over 70% of people are using Windows, and 72% are using Android operating system, myself included. I have a Samsung Android phone. Samsung phone. It has Android on it. So that right there, guys, is actually something that needs to be addressed. That needs to be understood. That you and I can sit there and disagree, but this is not something that you want to play around with. Because if Microsoft goes out of the gaming console race, it's gonna force Sony and Nintendo to do nothing to change. So they want to keep the consoles the same and make them crappier and not make them as as woo woo power kind of thing. And do what they want. They can do that. They can do that. They can have that. But if you don't want that, then you should be able to, demand that they don't do that by not buying their console. But if there's only two console manufacturers making consoles, PlayStation and Nintendo, there's no really other place you can go to. Just like when it comes down to the gas stations, or comes down to the Micro Centers versus Best Buys or whatever. Now, if you don't have a Walmart and a Best Buy and they sell PC stuff kind of and it's expensive, but Micro Center sells everything at or below MSRP, you're kind of at the mercy of those two stores you have in your town. And that's one thing about it I think people don't understand. That, hoping and praying that Microsoft goes out of business, to me, is not funny when it comes to the PC gaming world. Because Microsoft is holding PC gaming to high standards. Windows is the only reason why PC gaming is pretty much exploded as it is. And yes, I own an Xbox, and it's a good console to have. But the ecosystem is no longer dependent on hardware anymore, folks. All they're doing is trying to get rid of hardware. They're thinking about getting rid of hardware. They're thinking about, is this profitable enough? Is this Xbox system profitable for us? Is this Xbox console we created or going to create going to be sustainable? If no, why are we doing it? And I gave you why yesterday. Because they wanted to keep Windows relevant. Because if consoles overseeded the PC, Windows become extinct. And that's about 99% of Microsoft's business is Windows. So if you no longer need a PC to play games, because now consoles are just like miniature PCs, then Windows has a problem, Microsoft has a problem. That's all it is, folks. It's not about, Bill Gates want to make it rain micro dollars to just sit there and just spend billions and hundreds of billions of dollars on a futile, useless entity called the Xbox. It was to keep PCs relevant in people's minds. The original Xbox was known more as a hybrid PC than game console. Like I said, when it came out, they had people from Microsoft at EB Games, Badges, electronic boutique, Badges, Toys R Us, Walmart, Best Buy, showing people how to turn the thing on and how to eject the disk drive out and how to use the DVD drive. It was something brand spanking new. You literally had to have a tutorial how to use it. Because a lot of people didn't know much about it. But it was a good system that played a lot of great games. But it was overshadowed by the PlayStation 2. That being said, though, does it mean that the Xbox was a terrible console? No. It just means that Microsoft's mission to keep their Windows relevant was a success. It wasn't about just blowing tons of money and creating an Xbox. It was because they wanted to stay relevant and keep Windows active. Because they were afraid, like I said before, and Adam Keurig said, and a lot of us who understand this, like I said, when I say this, you'll understand it. They wanted to keep Windows relevant. It wasn't about the fact they wanted to keep, people, tied to a subscription service. Xbox Live came out, a year after the original Xbox released. It was online gaming. It wasn't about playing latest games. Those playing games online friends you bought. Now, later on, during the 360 era, it became that way. Now, with the Xbox One, it became more and more relevant, more and more intriguing that they wanted to do the game with Windows, but now they did it with Game Pass. Game Pass, guys, like I said before, Game Pass is the game Windows service. It was what they wanted for PC, was a game for Windows. That's all they wanted. They didn't care about the cost effectiveness. They didn't care about how much it took or didn't take. They just wanted to make sure that when they created this service, it was profitable. And it was for short term. The first year or two, over $1 billion. They probably got 20, maybe 30 million subscribers on it. And then it being very modest, with like 45 or 50 million Xbox users out there. Most of them were still using Gold because of what I don't need a Game Pass. Then once Gold was gone, okay, well, I'll get this Game Pass in. Then maybe some will try out the games or whatever. But a lot of people knew what it was. It was a rental service. I said it was a rental service. But you had discounts where you could buy the games. Now those are gone. So I think, guys, in the end, in closing, Microsoft said no, they're not cutting consoles out. They're partnering with AMD. That should put to bed what the issue was. But a lot of people out there in YouTube like algorithms are losing their minds because they had no good content to talk about, and B, Microsoft saying this or hinting to this, or some leaker said this, but it's like some leaker heard some best friend's former roommate's cousin talking about this in some Shoney's bathroom. I understand people trust a lot of these journalist leakers, and I get it. But we gotta start acting like we have some common sense here. Okay? So in the future, guys, yes, you might hear rumors. PlayStation goes out of business. They're getting rid of their PS5. They're getting rid of Sony's. I believe that more than I will believe believe Xbox. Because Microsoft, they don't have to have a console. They never did. But they wanted to keep the Windows alive. And they probably had an idea of creating a Windows service, just like they have right now with Game Pass Ultimate, like that. So I think people need to just take a step back, breathe, and just realize that the Xbox is going to be around for a while longer. Now maybe the Xbox console will change. It could be more of a set-top box digital machine, more like a Steam machine. It has Steam OS on there. That has Game Pass Ultimate. That has a Windows 11 or 12 on there. Windows 11 probably. It's a brand new operating system. It has all the things you want and need. It's a miniature PC. Now it may have a little Xbox name on it. Look towards the Xbox. But it's all just a streaming device. And that could be it. And you can put your own storage or whatever you want on it, and whatever. But that's something that could be at least about 3 or 4 years, generations down the road. We may have another maybe 2 generations left before they start doing that. The next generation might be a smaller X series, like a box, like a bigger box that has a disk drive in it, and the S could be even smaller than we have right now, or just a handheld version of that version, where you ain't got to worry about, So, guys, in closing, don't worry about it. Like I said, buy the games, enjoy the consoles if you've bought them already. If you're going to buy one at Costco or Sam's Club because it's dirt cheap, go for it. Hey, why not? Buy it now. I mean, it doesn't hurt to buy it now. Go home and open it up and have a good time with it. I mean, just, have fun. I'll see you guys later. God bless you guys. Peace out.